Well, Your Honor, I've got a 13-year-old daughter and a ex-husband that's decided to start his life over, but I can't do that because I've got a child to take care of, and I need some help doing that.
What do you mean by start his life over? He remarried?
You know, he's decided to go back to school.
That's a good thing, right?
That's fine, but it doesn't help us any.
Okay, you mean financially?
Financially, right.
Okay, what type of activities are your daughter, involved in?
She wants to do cheerleading, and she's on student council.
Okay.
Welcome back to Judge Bench, where we break down real courtroom stories and explain the law in a way that matters to you. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of legal drama, real-life lessons, and the powerful stories behind everyday people fighting for justice. In today's episode, we're reviewing a case straight from support court with Judge Vonda B. It involves a custody and child support matter that reflects the reality for many families, navigating financial hardship, education, and the shared responsibility of raising a child. In this particular case, a mother, Miss Cook, brings her ex-husband to court, seeking financial assistance in caring for their 13-year-old daughter. She works at a daycare and her income is already stretched thin, with their daughter wanting to participate in activities like cheerleading and student council, which involve costs and fees. Miss Cook is looking for help from her ex, who hasn't been contributing.
Well, it's not that I don't want to pay, it's just I'm not working at all. I'm a full-time student.
Okay.
My tuition is paid for, and I've got a Pell Grant, and I get basically $3,200 for a school year to help cover my living expenses as well. So
do they break that up by semester?
It's broken up by semester. I have to maintain grades and stay in school. I have to prove that to be able to continue to receive the grant. So I'm just trying to further my education. I understand my daughter's important to me. I love her very much, but I'm going back to law. I'm trying to get into law school, so I'm trying to figure out how to better it in the long run.
Okay.
The twist in this case is the father's situation. He's not ignoring his daughter or refusing out of spite. He's a full-time student trying to start over by going back to school, with plans to eventually attend law school. He explains that he's not working, and the only income he has comes from a Pell Grant totaling about $3,200 per school year. That amount is split per semester and is meant to cover his living expenses. He adds that he's sharing expenses with another student to stretch what little he has. His explanation is sincere. He's trying to improve his life, which in the long run he believes will benefit his daughter. Judge Vonda B. listens carefully. The mother acknowledges she knows about the Pell Grant, but also points out that many full-time students still work part-time to make ends meet. And for her, trying to raise a teenager alone on a daycare worker's pay is a constant struggle. She's not asking for the world, just some help. Judge Vonda B. lays out the law clearly. Even though the father is not currently working and his income is very low.
But again, I'm only a daycare worker, so I don't get a lot of money either. And I need some help even just with her normal everyday things. I'm paying for her insurance as it is, and just trying to keep things going is difficult.
Right, I understand, but you can't squeeze blood out of a rock. Okay, you understand that, right?
Yes.
He's only going to be obligated to pay whatever it is that he has as income. Although some students may work, not all full-time students have a job either.
Under Texas law, child support is still required. The law recognizes that children still need support, whether a parent is in school or not. The judge makes an important statement. You can't squeeze blood from a rock, meaning she can't order him to pay more than what he's realistically bringing in. However, child support must be based on something. Since the father's income is below what's considered a livable wage, the judge defaults to setting child support based on Texas's minimum wage guidelines. She calculates the father's child support obligation to be $226.97 per month. Not a large amount, but enough to make a difference for a struggling mother, trying to cover school activities and everyday needs.
$3,200 per school year is not even, he's not even making a full year worth of that money. You said a semester is broken down, so like $1,600 or so?
That's about right. So I'm living with somebody else that's going to school, so we're helping split the expenses, trying to make it last as long as we possibly can.
Right, right. So, ma'am, based on what he's telling me, and I have to assume his testimony is true until you provide me with anything different. That's all he has at this time. So that's all that I can calculate off of. So because of that, $3,200 is not a lot of money. So I would have to base his child support on minimum wage.
The judge reassures the mother that this support is not everything, but it's a start, and it's better than receiving nothing. The father is reminded that as his financial situation improves, whether through increased grant money or future employment, the support obligation could increase as well. Should he land a high-paying job in law one day, and his daughter is still under 18, child support will be recalculated accordingly. Both parties seem to understand the outcome. The mother isn't getting a huge win, but she's getting some support, which can go a long way. The father, while still struggling himself, is reminded of his responsibility in the legal requirement to provide whatever support he can. This case reflects the everyday reality of many divorced or separated parents who are trying to rebuild their lives while still fulfilling their obligations to their children. From an educational standpoint, this scenario highlights how the courts balance fairness with legal requirements. Just because a parent isn't working doesn't mean they're exempt from child support.
Gross of minimum wage is $1,256. Net of $1,134.87, which brings your monthly obligation to $226.97. That's based on minimum wage. Okay? All right. Would that 226 help cover something with student council?
Yes,
something
ma'am.
with cheerleading?
Yes, I just needed some help. I wasn't expecting him to do everything.
Okay. Okay. All right. And sir, you understand that, correct?
So when does that start?
That starts today.
Okay.
And even students, as financially strapped as they may be, are not entirely off the hook. Texas law has mechanisms to ensure that support is provided, even if it has to be based on hypothetical earnings, like minimum wage, rather than actual income. It's a tough but necessary balance to ensure that children's needs come first. As always, Judge Bench is here to help you understand not just what happens in court, but why it happens. This case of Miss Cook and her ex-husband shows us that justice isn't always about large sums or dramatic rulings. Sometimes it's about ensuring that the minimum is met and that every child receives what they're due, even in difficult circumstances. Whether you're a parent, a student, or someone navigating co-parenting, this case offers valuable insight into how the system works and why it matters to be informed, responsible, and proactive. Thanks for watching Judge Bench. If you found this case helpful or relatable, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more real-life courtroom analysis, legal education, and powerful stories like this one. Until next time, take care and stay informed.